Some of y'all thought I wasn't going, you thought I forgot about the pimping. But you know, if I gave some good game, to the women, if I gave some good game, to the ladies, you know that before I left you, that I was gonna give some good game, to the fellas, man. You know that. Come on, man. You knew I was gonna come back and reach for you. Come up in here hitting that like button. Come up in here hitting that share button. You know, if I sat up there and took out time to give game to the ladies, you had to have known. You had to have known that sin was gonna come back and reach for you. Hey, baby, soul got it with her fine ass. She just as fine as she wanna be. You wanna see somebody that's fine. You know what I mean? That's who you get. That's who you wanna get at. She got some things going on. Okay, Katrina fine ass then came up in here. Hey, baby. Okay, Denise, I see Denise, old big hips, nice thighs, and pretty face ass then came up in here. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Y'all make sure y'all come up in here hitting that like button though. Delicia. Sin, what took you so long? Man, I'm not even going, was you sitting over there talking to a bitch or talking to a, no, I was actually talking to my auntie in Chicago. And she one of them saved, my auntie saved and sanctified. So, um, she want to sit up, auntie want to sit up there and preach and minister. You know, time is winding out, baby. We're living in the last days. God is calling on you. Got one of them aunties. Hey, Liz, what's happening? Hold on, let me put this on here right quick. I gotta let them know on IG that we live with it. Make sure you share this on every platform for me. Yeah, we gonna be pretty much up all night. You know what I mean? Oh, let me say this. If you're in Toronto, you will be seeing me a lot. Seeing got a hotel room. You understand me? Yeah. From, well, I ain't gonna put all that out there, but seeing gonna be out there, you're gonna pretty much see me. If you're gonna be in the downtown Toronto, I was supposed to be down there today, but due to the fact that I didn't have the opportunity to do this last night, I had to come back, and give some game, man, to the fellas. Had to come back and give some game to the fellas. General, and what's happening, man? What's going on? Hold on. Let me put this here. Love to all. Hold on. I didn't even get to see your comment. There we go. Now let them know, because some of y'all been complaining about sin. I have not been getting the notifications. They have not been, and I keep telling y'all, unsubscribe from the channel, then subscribe again. Then once you subscribe, you know what I mean, hit that bell. Yeah, definitely get you some water and fruit. I'm gonna give y'all a couple of minutes, man, to get all in here, because we about the fellowship. Y'all pretty much got me all night. Had to just make provisions, to sit up there and talk to you guys all about. Hey, Sepulveda Prince. Okay, the pimping up in here. Okay, let me do this right quick. Bam. Katrina, I appreciate that, baby. Good looking. Okay, hold on. Look at this nigga. He trying to show out. Oh, nigga, and I just called your phone, nigga. That shit went to voice. A-list showing out. A-list celebs showing out. You know, look at these niggas showing out. I want the ladies to pay attention to A-list celebrity and Alexander the Great. You know, they gonna put on their pictures with their suits and shit. They really trying to you know, yeah, they gonna, and then King, you will see King Difference got his, but you gotta really look hard. But these niggas, yeah, shout out to Alexander the Great. You know what I mean? And A-list. Woo woo, good looking, man. Shout out to the homies. Being clean as hell. Making the game look good. Hold on. Right now. Yeah, okay, cool. I got that on IG. All right, we could go now. We can go now. Keisha done brought her fine ass up in here. Hey, baby. Yeah. Snazzy girl. Hey. Okay. I know y'all in here smelling good too. I know everybody done brushed their teeth. Breath smelling good. I hope you cologned up. See, I like you. Hello, Shauna. But you know that crazy life killing me, babe. What's that crazy life about? Talk to me. What's the crazy life? You know, let me know. Crazy life. All right, hold on. Blessings to you. Means my life is seesaw. Mmm. Mmm. Are you, let me ask you something. Are you in our life? Are you in my lifestyle? Somebody provide him with the cash app. The brother want to be a blessing. See, I might have to be, see, and shout out to Jap. See, Jap a real nigga because Jap had went live and acknowledged a lot of shit that was mine, but he, you know, it be so much, like, you would never see me getting my Tommy Sotomayor on. And what I mean by that, every now and then I'll talk shit, but I'm not about to be on here crying because niggas is sitting over there. Oh, well, baby, if you don't know, you don't know. You know what I mean? But you will. You know, just listen and pay attention. But yeah, you'll never see me over here weeping and gnashing of teeth and having lamentations and crying like a damn widow and shit because other motherfuckers is like taking my shit and they not you know, paying homage. You know, like if you pay attention, so much of my lingo is all on YouTube. But I don't want to like cry about it. You know, it just is what it is. You either gonna pay homage and acknowledge the motherfucker that you got the knowledge from, or that lingo from, or that catchphrase from. You know what I mean? But if you don't, you know, yeah, that's on you. I just heard that rebuking video. Baby, I don't know which one you talking about, Katrina. I got so many of them. You know, oh, and shout out, you know what I mean, to the homie, I think your name DDN310 or something like that. I had totally forgot about the video that I had even did when Tommy had said that Tupac was gay. I totally forgot that I even did a response video to that. But it's on my Patreon. So if you want to see it, you can go see it on my Patreon. Good looking, pimp. Hold on, what the homie didn't put in my shit? Hold on. Everybody coming up in here still getting seated. They still coming in attendance for this game. I hope y'all smelling good. I told y'all about listening to this game with stank ass breath. Blessings to the game, P. What happened to that live stream you were going to do earlier? Which one? Because I had put the wrong title in. Is that what you're talking about? Because I got shit that I'm gonna do tonight. Hold on. Somebody just came through. Harold, man, good looking, man. Appreciate that, bro. Appreciate that. Good looking. Coming through with the cash app. Hold on. The dude that offed himself. No, hold on. Glory to the game. Put some water, in your body. Yeah, I seen certain people speaking on it, but the information is just everywhere. Like some people saying that he did it over his girlfriend. And that would have been easy for someone like me to just speak on committing suicide over that. But then some people said it's for other reasons and everything like that. And one thing about me, I don't just rush to the internet, like, ooh, I'm gonna get the most views out of this. Let me just run with this narrative. So until I find out something to be irrefutable, I don't come acting as if what I'm saying is incontestable to you until I know that I know that I know that I know that I know. Yeah, he out of that Dallas. Yep. I forgot this one dude on YouTube. Of course, I think he had helped blow him up. You know? Yeah, Jap went live on that time. When came back on YouTube, I see Jap had just got through doing that video. Yep. Bless his P, just tapping in, pop it or stop it. Alexander, you still in that Minnesota? Sad man, another young brother gone, ultimately over nothing. Yeah, yeah. See, I didn't want to give the wrong narrative because that certain people see one thing about these bloggers, bro, they don't understand that these rappers got family members that be on YouTube and they gotta watch certain videos with false narratives. Oh, okay, I know what you mean. Snazzy girl, thank you, baby. Good looking. Why you being so generous, man? Because I told you I'm a man of my word. Did I not tell you that I was gonna come back and give some game to the pimping before I left you? Did I tell you that I was gonna sit up there and give some game to the fellas before I left? I'm a man of my word. I just got caught up, you know what I mean, in some things. I had to preside over mine. The pimping come first. But after I took care of my business pertaining to mine, then that's when I had the opportunity and availability to come to you. But I had to keep my word because that's what men do, you know. But yeah, after I'm gonna be up pretty much all the night. It's gonna be a game marathon. So but yeah, once again, those that's in Toronto, y'all gonna see a lot of me this month. Hold on. Sleeves, appreciate Cash App, man. Good looking. Man, y'all just sitting over there blessing me with so much love. We only have our word. Exactly, bro. We have to respect our word. We have to. If you notice, whether me and Tommy got into it or not, I had to sit up there and let that be known that I did think that Kwame was wrong. When you give your word and you tell somebody that you're going to do something, you should honor your word, number one. But number two, he shouldn't even have to call you and ask you. You know what I mean? You should have called and asked him. But at the same time, I be expecting squares to respond to situations like we do. King Difference, man. See, I don't want to put King Difference. Shout out to King Difference, man. King Difference is consistent, him and peaceful. Ray Gun, what's happening, man? Snazzy, what's going on? Big bro, them cash apps for your internet connection, fam. You stupid. But that ain't gonna fix it, bro. It's a cute joke, but yeah, that ain't gonna fix that, bro. This is my second phone service that I had to get with to try to basically fix it, and to no avail. So while I'm off of YouTube, I am gonna be endeavoring to fix that. By the time that I sit up there and come back. But no, that ain't got nothing to do with that. I don't know if it's because of the floor that I'm on, I don't know. I don't know if I'm too high in the sky. I don't know. At this point, I really don't know. And I would hate to leave, my place because I done got used to being here. But if I gotta go somewhere, man, so my connection can be right, bro. Because y'all done already proved that y'all gonna fuck with me anyway. Cause y'all used to look at my motherfucking ass in an empty ass room. But if we gotta go back, I don't even give a fuck. Seeing to go to an empty ass room, man, just give me perfect connection. I done already proved I don't need bitches shaking their ass in the background with bottles pouring and money and everything. Nigga, I got this game. CN will preach this game in an empty ass room and still draw a crowd. It's nothing. And so when I remember that, fam. I remember. I thought it was me. Didn't know. Yeah, it's me, bro. The connection is me. That ain't y'all. That's not you. Sometime it be y'all, but nah, it's really me. You'll notice it do that shit like every 5, 6, 7 minutes. I thought it was me. The game is priceless. Okay, we in here. Hey, Bella. Make sure you hit the like button if you haven't already hit it. Make sure that you click on that bell button. But we could get to this game now. Um, Let me save you niggas some money. Seriously. No disrespect. And you already know I'm not, hot right now. I will be, especially when I come back. But when I do get hot, I've been telling y'all, man. But some of you, always want to pay for consultation. Some of you are paying for consultation and you got the same problem, in the game. Some of you are paying, you trying to let me just save you not only some money but some time. You watching my videos, you watching Freeze videos, you watching Dre's videos, you watching whoever else videos, you reading books, you looking at dating coaches, but you still not getting the money. You know, you still not getting to the money, man. It's like you pretty much basically have become a rival gang to the money, man. You done got consultations, you done bought books, you done did all of this. So I'm here to tell you that it's not that you don't have game. Some of you do have knowledge, you have some information. But look at the bitches that you apply it to. I've been saying this for years, man. Hey, man, you could be Joe Montana in the game, but when you gonna throw to Jerry Rice? You know what I mean? You keep throwing the ball to, bitches that's meant to fumble. And as the great Mel Taylor said, hey, man, every donkey not gonna turn into no stallion. Now, let me explain some things. We, as participants in the lifestyle, man, we known for that. We could take ugly bitches and make them pretty. We could take fat bitches and make them in shape. We could take bitches that was failing in school, that was not academically successful, make the bitch read, put the bitch in school, get the bitch a tutor. Pimping can do these things. Pimping are just special and peculiar and not regular and familiar motherfuckers. We some charismatic, magnetic, infinite-minded individuals. But at the same time, you're not God. At the same time, your P don't stand for perfect. At the same time, I want you to have a summer where you get into these overworked and underpaid situations. Many of you, I'm not gonna lie to you. Some of you gonna have prosperous summers, and a lot of you are not gonna have prosperous summers. Some of you are not going to ball. Some of you are not going to sit up there and have a good summer because you're doing the same goddamn thing you did last summer. And before I get to, the main ingredients of my message, I just want to start with you before I even get to her. Many of you won't have the women that you desire, because you don't prepare for it. You don't put yourself in position to sit up there and knock, the bitch that you want to desire. Now, of course, I know when you get on YouTube, these dating coaches, they gonna make it seem like, or these you know, the new doctrines that's coming out, you know, you got to be making this amount of money, you need to have this. Hey man, a real stump down pimp with some game, with some pimping will tell you that, you know, it's been times, man, where we've been, and we still came in different clubs. We still came in different, you know what I mean, clubs and things like that. Holus and dolus, P partnered and paid your way in. You know, can't nobody tell that you broke because of what you got on. You know, and so because of your attire, nobody could tell that you're holus and dolus. Or maybe, you know, it's been some times where pimps, you know, where your attire wasn't even all of that. We didn't even have a suit on. Nigga was just fucked up. Nigga got on some jeans in a pro club and still knock a bitch. This pimping is a motherfucker. This game is a motherfucker. You know? So as far as having money and all, you know, to the squares, you know, that I guess that's applicable for their little world. You know, just like I had to tell Buddy, you know, you're in a trick world. But in this game, you know, you do have to be able to convey your game. And some of you have no good verbal game. You know, you're just not good at it. You know, and it's sad because you're professing to be a pimp, but you have nothing to say. You know? And I want the young, please share this with all the young P's. You know, it's just obvious when I see different videos on Instagram and Facebook, and when I'm listening to you guys in consultations, I know that you have nothing to say to the bitch. Absolutely nothing but your phone number. You know, just take an observation. Go to the so-called pimp and hoe pages on IG and look at the niggas that's driving up and down the street, or the niggas that's in the streets getting their bitches. They not saying a motherfucking thing. You know? No game at all. None. Yeah, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, know what I'm saying? Yeah, fuck with a real one, dog. Yeah, fuck with a real one, dog. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you got action, bitch. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, bitch, 702, you know, 6523210. You know, Kayla Marjour, the pimp. You know what I mean? Yeah, hit my line, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? Yeah, fuck with a real one, though. Yeah. Ain't saying a goddamn thing. bitch, like, damn, I wish he'd just leave me the fuck alone. Damn, I wish this nigga stopped. Damn, this nigga is killing my action. Damn, this nigga breath stank. Damn, this nigga musty. And that's another thing, I can't deal with it, you know what I mean, enough. But it's also your presentation, you know, what you got on. And I get, you know, I just got to tell it like it is. You know, you can have some game that's even impeccable. But are you presentable though? What the fuck do you got on? You know? And, you know, some of you don't know how to dress. So I can't expect you to know how to dress the bitch because you don't even know how to dress yourself. It's so many reasons on why, you know what I mean, you're not having a prosperous time in the game. You're not having it your way. You know? And I've been working with you guys. I've been telling you, you know what I mean? Make them sacrifices, Pete. You know what I mean? Don't just be coming outside, you know what I mean? And just hollering out the window, just saying anything. You know what I mean? Work on your game. Exercise your pimping. Get into some debates with intellectual people. Or, you know what you should do? You should do this one thing that a lot of these loudmouth ass niggas should do. Shut the fuck up and listen. Yeah. Shut the fuck up and listen. You know? Shut the fuck up and listen. If you don't have the knowledge to debate, if you don't have the knowledge to communicate, if you don't have the knowledge to introduce yourself and, you know what I mean, when you're initiating a conversation with a woman, get around individuals that do, or have conversations with individuals that do, and shut the fuck up. You need to be an ear hustler. You need to soak up this game like a sponge, nigga. Don't say a goddamn thing. Speak in the like I told that one nigga, speak in the language of silence. Learn. You know what I mean? Be quiet. That's how motherfuckers miss the game, by acting like they already got the game. And we have so many individuals that's in this pimping right now, you understand me, that's acting like they got the game, but in reality, they don't have it. It's evident when they speak. It's evident, you know what I mean, in their appearance. They don't have the game. They don't have the information. You know? So the thing, many of you, of course, you're not going to admit it, but you know, many of you get scared when you get into the presence of, you know, a bitch that appears to have, you know, her shit together. And I just threw that little picture up there, you know what I mean? But just to keep it all the way 100, every now and then you'll see bitches that's on the blade that look exactly like that. Every now and then, you know what I mean, you'll see hoes that's, you know, dressed proper because, you know, when I come back, when Sin come back, I haven't finished my What Pimps Don't Do series, but what Sin gonna do when he come back, I'm going to start my What Hoes Don't Do series, and that might even be longer than What the Pimps Don't Do. I got so much work. It's so much shit that I haven't spoke on. But I'm not talking about the bitches that's wearing house shoes to the track. I'm not talking about the bitches that's wearing slippers and shit. You know, I'm talking about them hoes that, you know what I mean, look hoish. Them hoes that look presentable. You know, them, as Kevin Samuels was saying, you know what I mean, I'm going to switch it up. You know, the high value hoes. You know, not the low budget. Not the bitches that's looking like they doing $20 dates by the grace of God. No. The high value hoes. You scared to say anything to them? You have nothing to say to them. How do you know, Sin? I know from my observation. I done been around niggas, trust me. I've been in this shit since '07. And I done rode in fellowship with enough pimps where I know when this pimp, he'll end up getting at this little bitty ass bitch that got on slippers, or she look like she only making $400 by the grace of God, he'll sweat that bitch all night. But when a bitch that really got some good potential, some cold marketability, nigga quiet as a church mouse. You know, quiet as a church mouse. I know Support the Prince got to feel me. I know Different P's got to feel me. You ever been on the blade before and you in the car riding with pimping, you know, or you in the club with pimping, you know what I mean? And, you know, I ain't trying to get into, you know what I mean? I just got to keep this thing all the way 100. I done been, you understand me, certain environments, not just the track, but just the club, you know, we just out. And this nigga had everything to say to this little ugly bitch or this. But let a fine, attractive, you know what I mean, woman come through. He don't have nothing to say. You know? He didn't have anything to say. I'm not just talking about on the blade. I'm talking about casino. I'm talking about carpet. I'm talking about in the club. I've seen it. I've campaigned with a lot of individuals that even be talking a lot of shit on Instagram. You would just think that this nigga, he bold. He'll say anything, you know what I mean, at any given time. That is not how it is when we in the streets. You go to certain people IG page, you just think they turned up. You just think they turned the fuck up. But when you campaign with them in person, he had everything to say to this little bitch that looked like she about to be down for 8-9 hours and come back with 360s and 370s and shit. He's sweating the shit out that bitch. But when it came time, you know what I mean, to say something, you know what I mean, to that fine, attractive, you know, beautiful dark skin, a brown, a light skin, oh my God, and don't let it be some snow. You know what I mean? He ain't had nothing to say. He didn't have anything to say. That man spoke in the language of silence. He don't have nothing to say. You niggas are limited, man. And you know, if you limited, you got to question yourself, man, because guess what? The pimping not limited. Get my likes up. Everybody hit the like button. But the pimping is not limited. You're limited, but the pimping not limited. The pimping know how to get at women. You know, and I keep telling y'all, I remind you of that time that one time me and Freeze was talking to some gorgeous squares. You know, they didn't even know we was pimps yet. And while we sitting over there just having a normal conversation, I told you, you know what I mean? And I love you, bro. You probably listening right now. But I told you while me and Freeze was having a conversation, he just kept telling me and Freeze like, come on, man, you know, let's go. Man, you know, we talking to these squares and shit. Man, let's go. And I'm in my mind, I'm like, nigga, what you thought them hoes was before they got in the game? Did you think they just came out the pussy hoeing? The fuck? You know what I mean? But he just kept telling me and Free, come on, man, we're talking to them squares and shit. But I had to understand that he didn't know how to communicate with them. He didn't know how to communicate with these beautiful women who had careers. He didn't know how to communicate with these beautiful women, you know what I mean? You know, Chanel purses and things like that, and, you know, Louis this, Gucci this, and Chanel that. You know, some of y'all keep hollering at them rainbow type of bitches. And you know, if you getting at a population of females that look like they be at a shopping spree, you know what I mean, that rainbow, I completely understand. You know, I completely understand. I know why you're afraid. You're afraid. You know, now let me also say this to you. You know, when I say save some money, let me also say this to the youth in the game. There is no point of having consultation with me if you're not going to tell the truth. When you come to a consultation, it's for you to be honest. You got to expose your vulnerability. You have to expose the F's on your report card. You can't come to me like you got all A's, because if you come to me acting like you got all A's, I can't help you. I can't give you the game like you supposed to have the game, because you already acting like you got this game in this area. You know, and you know, the game might not show me that you're lying at that particular time, you know, but many of you have paid for consultation and you know that you should have told the truth. Like, Sin, I don't know what to do. I be in the club and I talk to decent looking females. Like, when I'm talking to decent females, I feel confident. You know, I feel confident talking to them stankadanks. I feel confident talking to a bitch that look like she ain't got her shit together. But when a woman come in my presence and she just fine as fuck, you know what I mean? And she look like she's on the executive level, all my confidence goes out the window. I don't know what to do. Keep that shit real. You know what I mean? Hold on. There we go. You know, keep that shit real. I can't help you if you don't keep it real. How am I supposed to help you? You don't know how to communicate. And if you don't know how to communicate, how you going to represent your pimping? You're not going to have a prosperous summer. I did not come to lie to you. I did not come to play with you. You're going to keep getting at them little rainbow shopping spree looking ass bitches. You gonna sit up there and come, you know what I mean, to the blade, you know, to keep you know, going after them bitches whose teeth is fucked up. You know, it's obvious why you're not making no money. Why you acting like you gotta go on a 40-day fast, you know, and you gotta seek God and Allah, and you gotta seek Abba, and you gotta seek Yahweh, and you gotta go, you gotta read the Quran. You trying to search on why you not getting no money in the game. Look at the bitches you get at, you know? And then you're gonna stay at that little level until you make the sacrifices, you know what I mean, to become a better man and a better participant in the lifestyle. You know, hold on for a minute. There we go. You know, until you become an individual that's ready to humble yourself and say, P, I don't know. And see, that's another. Let me just deal with that for a minute. That's one of our biggest issues in the pimp game. Everybody's egotistical. Everybody's arrogant. Everybody's flamboyant. So by everybody being egotistical, everybody being arrogant, and no spirit of humility is nowhere, you don't have too many individuals in the game that'll be like, P, I don't know. Everybody got to pretend like they know. I'm scared to tell this P that I don't know, because if I expose my ignorance, me basically giving him knowledge of what I'm ignorant of, he might feel like he empowered my pimping, and so now he get to knock me for every bitch that I have or possibly will have, because he gonna always feel like he laced my boots. So everybody got to keep that shield around themselves. And that's fucked up that you feel like that. But there were things that Sin did not know, and I asked T-Mac. When my younger days in 2007, when Sin came into the game, there were certain things that I had to listen to. And then I became so skilled in conversation that sometimes that I would actually manipulate T-Mac into telling me something without me asking him or exposing the fact that I was ignorant. But that's for that's for another conversation. But I had to, in the beginning, I had to. Hey, let me just hold on. Let me just put this out there to the young P's that's listening. I was green. I was green as hell when I came into the game. The level that you're at now, I've been there and done that. Sin used to do a lot of green ass shit. Hey man, I've told you this once, I'm gonna tell you again. When Sin came into the game, do you know that I used to sing to women to get them out of pocket? My conversation wasn't what it is today. My game wasn't what it is today. In the very beginning, when Sin first came into the game, Sin used to sing the hoes to get them out of pocket. Facts. Sin used to do a lot of shit that now I just shake my head and be like, what the fuck was you doing? Sin would get bitches out of pocket. Hold on. Hey, no disrespect, but while I'm conveying this game, we not talking about Kemet. We not talking about none of that stuff right now. Put all that shit up. We sticking to the game right now. All of that, Kemet and all of that, we'll deal with all of that another time. Take that shit to Sonetta TV. Tell bro I said what's up. But right now, I'm teaching this pimping. I'm ministering this pimping. So now I don't want to see no comments about Kemet and all of that shit right now. Sin is ministering this pimping right now. So, get your mind right. But I used to do a lot of shit, that was green. And you know what? T-Mac had to get on me, because when I would get hoes out of pocket on the Las Vegas Strip, do you know that sometimes the Sin was so fucking green that I would be talking to bitches and I got them laughing and all of this old weird ass shit, and we having conversations and we didn't exchange numbers, and I ain't asked the bitch I didn't sit up there and try to get to get this bitch in a secluded area so I can break on her. Got the bitch all out of pocket. And we laughing and smiling, and the bitch still got her money on her person. Doing all of this weird ass shit. Shit that now I wish I could just go back and smack the shit out of me for all this weird ass shit. And T-Mac, I told y'all how T-Mac was. T-Mac said, Sin, I seen you, man, with that little bitch, man. You had that bitch all out of pocket. You know what I'm saying? I could tell, from the way she was smiling, Sin, that she was digging on you, man. Yeah, I could tell the way she was laughing and smiling, man. She was digging on you, man. What you break that bitch for? You know, did you break on the bitch? And I said, nah, man, we exchanged numbers and things. He said, wait a minute, hold on. You got the bitch out of pocket? How long did you talk to that bitch? Oh man, you know what I mean? We was talking for at least about 40 something minutes. Well, wait a minute, hold on. You got the bitch out of pocket. And you was talking to her for how many years? Now I said 40 something minutes. Yeah, that's what I thought you said. 40 something minutes, you know what I mean, to an out of pocket bitch. Nigga, that's like 40 something years. And you didn't break the bitch? He's like, man, you got something against breaking hoes? I was like, no. He like, nigga, we'll break a bitch, nigga. Sitting over there laughing and smiling and shit, you know what I mean, with the bitch, and you know what I mean, y'all, you putting on a comedy show and all this old stupid shit, nigga, and then the bitch leave and she still got her motherfucking money. Bitch think you a play toy. She think you a fuck boy. She think you handsome and all that old shit. But the bitch still got her money. you know? So I appreciate T-Mac, man, out of Milwaukee, man, for lacing my boots, man. You understand me? Because Sin was doing a lot of weird ass, green ass shit, you know what I mean, in the beginning, man. But after he sit up there, man, and gave me that cut, after he sit up there and was like, nigga, sitting over there talking and got her laughing and smiling, and then she get to keep her money and she get to go on a date. Nigga, break a bitch. And that's T-Mac, So after that, I didn't have those problems no more. Act free. How did Sin correct them? T-Mac checked them. After T-Mac checked Sin, T-Mac rebuked Sin for that green ass shit that he was doing. You know what I mean? What Sin was doing then? Hey man, it was over for all of that. Any bitch that got out of pocket with me, a bitch couldn't look at me. If she look at me too long, cause 2 seconds is like 2 years. You making too much eye contact, bitch. I need everything on you. I was not playing no more. All of that playing shit. No more playing. Hold on. Hey, let me say this, man. Yeah, I'm not trying to block you, but all that mama say mumapu sai ass shit that you've been doing in my comment section, talking about slave masters and all of that shit. Hey, right now I'm not on that. Now when I'm on that frequency, you guys and I give you guys the liberty to call in, you never do. When I'm on that vibration, you never want to have that conversation. But now that I've switched the conversation, now you guys want to put on an Oscar award winning performance like you own that vibration in my comment section. Stop doing that. When I have my call-ins and I give you the opportunity to ask questions pertaining to history, spirituality, or whatever, do it then. But in my comment section, don't do that. In my mods, don't be soft either. Just because a motherfucker got a bitch in the profile, that could be a full-grown nigga looking like Mark Henry and shit. Don't be if a motherfucker keep cutting up, now be merciful. 1 time, 2 times, but 3 times, they just keep on doing the shit. You know what I mean? Get them out of here. Stop being merciful because it's a bitch in the profile picture. For all you know, that could be a 400-pound. Get into this game. See, this is another thing that pimps are not doing. You'll notice that, when they're giving tutorials or when they're giving lectures, about the game, they never speak from experiences, when they didn't have the game. And that's when they lose out with the youth. But let me just say this. I had to make sacrifices, to basically be as knowledgeable as I am now. I had to go through the school of hard knocks, and I'm trying to hinder you from going through that. I don't want you to go through a jail or a prison or have different experiences, in these streets to learn what you could actually learn right now if you would just listen. I've been telling you guys to read, to meditate. I told you to educate yourselves. A man that does not have, vocabulary, if he don't have no words, he's saying he's a pimp. That's like a gun with no bullets. How you a pimp and you don't have to communicate? That's like a gun with no bullets. A man professing to be a pimp and he doesn't have a gigantic, he don't have innumerable words to express himself. That's like a man saying that he got a gun but he don't have no bullets. You got to read, you got to study. How you saying you the pimping but you don't have words to express, yourself to represent your pimping? You got to read, Pete. You got to come out your comfort zone. There are certain women that you won't have until you come into the knowledge of certain things. Example, there were certain women, beautiful women, gorgeous women, that I would have never had if I didn't have knowledge of certain lifestyles. Because when we first had our conversations, I wasn't talking about the game. I was still conveying game, but we wasn't talking about the lifestyle. If did you feel like you was robbing a bitch the first time you broke her? Okay, let me answer that. Usually I don't, but let me answer that square ass question that Ken just asked me. When you break on a bitch, now let me. I'm glad that you said that. Let me stop dead in my message to lace your boots. When you break on an out-of-pocket bitch that's knowledgeable of the game, that means that when she got out of pocket with you, she knew that she was doing something that was contrary to being in pocket. Knowledgeable hoe. A hoe that's not about what's in pocket and what's out of pocket. The moment she say something to you, or she keeps staring at to break on her, she does not consider that to be a robbery. She don't consider that to be a robbery. See, a knowledgeable laced hoe, a hoe that's been pimped on, a hoe that knows the game, if she keeps staring at you blatantly, she gang banging on you with the reckless eyeballing, or she say something to you, she knows she's expecting you to break her. She's expecting you to break her. Not only, matter of fact, if you don't go in her some of y'all gonna go in the but she's expecting you to tell her to break herself. In today's era, it would be best that that you sit up there and go to a secluded area. Some of y'all be breaking bitches with cameras and all on the, you just all in front. Some of you have no wisdom. And I'll speak about that later on. But let's get back to what I'm saying. If she's a knowledgeable hoe and she knows, the definition of being out of pocket, she know what out of pocket means. So she's expecting to get broke on. That's why she got out of pocket. Now, a square prostitute that looks like a hoe, catch dates like a hoe, talk like a hoe, make hoish hashtags on Instagram, might even got something like a pimp boyfriend that look like the pimping, but ain't the pimping. She's a square prostitute. And I want you to know that the track is full of square prostitutes. So if you break on a square prostitute that got out of pocket, you just might end up in jail. Listen to me. If you break on a square prostitute, somebody's girlfriend that's pretending to be the hoeing, but really not the hoeing, when she get out of pocket with you, and the moment that you tell her to break herself, she gonna consider it to be a robbery. She's really a square. See, a lot of you think, and I keep saying this, a lot of you think that just because she getting in and out of them cars, just because she half naked, just because she talking like a hoe, you actually think that she is a hoe and she's not. So yeah, your ass might end up in jail because you just broke on somebody's girlfriend that's fucking with cripping or fucking with tripping or fucking on slipping, but she ain't fucking with pimping, you know. So, you have to know who to do that with, because you do have some bitches that will consider that to be robbery. I'll give you an example before I get back into the message that I never left. We could call Freeze right now and different pimps, you know what I mean? My nigga Ace and different niggas that seen this shit go down. This was a white bitch in Vegas that was playing with everybody. She would call her, the Jessica little bitch. She was fucking on pimps. She was getting free dick from niggas that was professing to be pimps and all of this shit. And I ain't gonna lie to you, you know what I mean? I did a slick little move on the bitch, you know what I mean? Cause you know, this is when sin had absolutely, no heart, at all. You know? And even though I was young at the time when this occurred, but at that time, man, I was just I was just a young, you gotta remember, man, that after coming around nice and goody and shit like that, man, bitches was getting rebuked, man. Bitches was getting that rebuking service physically. So anyway, make a long story short, the bitch was acting like she wanted to fuck with me. So, I sit up there, you understand me? I was like, man, I've been looking at you too. So I'm flirting with her and all of that. Indirectly but directly telling her some things, that she want to hear and everything like that. I can tell that her little white pink pussy, was wet. I could tell that, she wanted to sit up there and give me that, you know. And once I got her in the area, man, once I got her, in the little room and everything like that, man, true story. The bitch think we getting ready to fuck, and all of that. And as soon as that bitch sit up there, you understand me, and acted as if she was getting ready to get on me and shit, man, I smacked the shit out that bitch. Bitch started rubbing and touching her, man. I'm like, bah! She's like, what is that for? I'm like, bitch, you thought you was gonna play with Pippin? You thought I was gonna be another victim on your list? You thought that I was gonna be an individual that you was gonna sit up there, you understand me, and talk about, you thought that I was gonna sit up there, you understand me, and be another nigga on your I done fucked this pimp for free list? Bitch, you got me fucked up. Smack the shit out. Bah! And so she's like, that little white girl voice. Oh my God, what did you do that for? I'm like, bitch, you thought I was gonna be stupid enough, bitch, to do something with your dumb ass, bitch. Bitch, break your motherfucking self. She was like, break myself? What are you talking about? I'm like, bitch, don't play with me, bitch. You didn't get out of pocket, bitch. You understand me? Don't play with pimping, bitch. You understand me? I want every motherfucking dollar. I want every goddamn dollar, bitch. Don't sit up there and play with me. Oh my God. I was like, bitch, don't even play with me, bitch. You're gonna take every dollar out the purse. She's like, are you robbing me? I was like, bitch, don't try to manipulate this pimping. That white girl shit don't work with me, bitch. My name's Sinful. It ain't friendship, bitch. Give me my motherfucking money. So the bitch up there, you know what I mean? He was from the coast, free, you know what I mean? And she was all sitting over there giving fucking with this blood nigga that thought, you know what I mean? That, matter of fact, I can't even say that because he was cool. He ended up being cool later on. But he was really just a little blood nigga that the bitch would be sitting over there fucking on and sucking on and shit for free. So she go back to him, and that nigga sit up there and he called me. You said you can't hear me. Okay, can you guys hear me? Okay, what did you miss? What did you guys miss? Reparations, you stupid. Okay, what did you miss? Can you hear me now? Okay, what did you not hear? The last 50 seconds. Okay, listen, I'm gonna rewind it back. I'm gonna rewind it back. When we got into the room, she thought that we was gonna fuck. You know what I mean? Sin wasn't on that. I told you that. I think y'all heard that part. But when we got in the room, I ended up smacking the shit out the bitch. You know what I mean? Because the bitch had been playing with pimping. You know, and she pretty much had got a reputation of just basically fucking on pimps and playing with niggas and shit. You know, but none of these niggas had no money from the bitch. You know? Okay, so you heard that. So, okay, cool. So after that was over, you know, after I broke on her, and then to keep it all the way real, because, you know, all seeing stories is real. You know what I mean? It wasn't even no motherfucking money, man. Bitch only had, you know, like 700 and something dollars on the bitch. Ain't had no motherfucking money on the man. I know she had some money on the little cars and all that shit, but so after I took that little change, you know, I did break her for that change. Um, she sit up there and go back to the little blood nigga. Okay, can y'all hear me now? Can you hear when I said she went to the blood nigga? I can't remember whether he was from the coast or whether he was from Double O Foes, because the blood nigga that I'm talking about that she went to, I think he locked up again. Okay, cool. So the nigga called my phone and he like, what's going on, P? You know what I mean? What's happening with you? I was like, man, who this? He's like, oh man, you probably don't know me, but I done seen you around, man. You and your little light skinned partner, man. Y'all be suited and booted, man. You know, I really respect you, my nigga. You one of the real ones around here, right? But peep this out though, blood. You know what I'm saying? You know, my bitch, she say, man, you know what I mean, that you robbed her though. I'm just trying to he's like, man, you know, that nigga a pimp, man. You know what I mean? That nigga ain't robbing nobody. You know? Hold on, I gotta wait till y'all get all up in here. Let me wait till y'all all get up in here. All right, cool. You know, he's like, man, that nigga sinful, man. He a pimp, man. You know what I mean? That nigga ain't sitting over there, you know what I mean, fucking with, you know, that shit. That nigga ain't no robber. He's a pimp. So I was like, she told you that I robbed her. He was like, yeah, man, I'm just trying to get understanding of this shit though. You know what I mean? Cause blood, you know, the bitch come crying to me. She was like, you know, sinful, you know, he robbed me. And I was like, man, I only know one sinful, man. And you know what I mean? That nigga's a gentleman, man. You know what I mean? Him and his partner Freeze, man. You know, them the cleanest niggas here. You know? So you know, the nigga sit up there, you understand? He like, man, so P, what happened? I was like, man, you know, the bitch thought that, you know, we was getting ready to have a funky good time. You know what I mean? She thought that we was getting ready to get into something, man, but she thought she was gonna be able to put sinful, you know, on the fuck pimp for free list. And as soon as we got, you know what I mean, in the room, bro, I smacked the shit out the bitch. You know what I mean? And you know, I broke her. Cause she was out of pocket with me. And not only did she get out of pocket with me, but she take the game for a joke because she just been fucking on niggas that's been professing pimps around here. They professing to be pimps, but they not doing no pimping on the bitch. So the bitch just took the game for a joke. So as soon as I get up in there, of course, bro, I smacked the shit out that bitch and broke on her. And so of course, when I told him that, you know, PGO boss gang. Hey family, I'm gonna just say this to you everywhere. And I just experienced from dealing with, you know what I mean, different bloods. You know, man, as a matter of fact, you know, one of my homies, man, that I've been looking out for years, man, that's, you know, down right now, you know, he's a blood. He from the coast. So I can understand if you from Cali and you feel the way that you feel because, you know, I've been locked up, You know what I mean? And when Cali and Vegas niggas used to get into it and shit like that. But what I will tell you is, yeah, you got some authentic bloods in Vegas, man. So I'm not gonna get into that debate, and everything. But okay, if you raised, yeah, I'm gonna be quiet. Yeah, I'm gonna be quiet then. If you was raised in them different lanes, then I understand how you feel. I ain't gonna sit up there and go back and forth because by you being from, you know what I mean, from where you from, I understand why you feel the way that you feel. But what I will say is, you do got some motherfucking Crips and Bloods in Vegas, man, that's gang banging for real. I ain't gonna, Sin ain't gonna sit up there and shit on Vegas gang banging because yeah, you got some motherfuckers that will give you your issue. This Vegas born and raised, you know. Shout out to Northtown, love y'all. Shout out, you know what I mean, to the whole coast, love y'all too. But yeah, shout out to Vegas. I just love y'all niggas, man. I don't be tripping on that. One thing about Vegas niggas will allow you to come to the city and ball. Vegas niggas will allow you to sit up there and ball, do your thing. Vegas niggas really don't be tripping on out of towners until out of towners try to act like, they bigger or better. That's just from my observation. You know? Now you do got some Vegas niggas that is like, lame and shit, but you got lame niggas everywhere, including my city. So, that's why I don't even get on that. I love motherfuckers in Vegas. I'm gonna be quiet. That's why I'll just tell you this on the under. That's why when certain niggas was saying certain things and talking about sin can't come here, sin can't come where? And what was you gonna do? Like, let me get off that. But it's not a place in the States that I can't come to. Please don't believe these Oscar award winning male actresses. Don't do that. Please don't allow these husbands and things like that to deceive you and try to act like they just so street that they can stop sinful from coming anywhere. Don't do that. It's not like that. Vegas is pretty much almost like a second home. Like don't. It was just wisdom on Sin's part to move somewhere else. Just like I keep telling some of y'all. Some of y'all keep staying in Vegas and you didn't call case after case. That's just stupid to keep staying somewhere and you didn't call case after case, or you can't move the way you want to move because Metro on your ass. That's stupid to just keep remaining there. But I understand that some of y'all is just local jokers, and by you being a local joker, you scared to take your pimping on the road. You scared to go anywhere else. You know what I mean? Because Vegas is all you know. You know what I mean? It's pretty much convenient, so you don't know nowhere else to pimp. You got some niggas that been professing to be pimps for 5 and 10 years, and that's all they know is Vegas and Arizona and Cali. Stop it. But getting back to this game, you know what I mean, that I never left, even in that situation right there, see, even when you ask that question about breaking a bitch and everything tie into each other. Because even the bitch that I broke on, she was what you considered to be a bad bitch. And that's one thing niggas always liked about me is that Sin was just so arrogant that he would talk to bad bitches like pretty much that they wasn't shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not about to exalt. Like, that's for you niggas. I ain't about to have no praise and worship service for this bitch. Nigga, I just looked in the mirror. I don't feel the way about her, nigga, the way I feel about my motherfucking self. That's why you niggas is mentally defeated, because you value the bitch more than yourself. And that's why I'm going to keep knocking hoes and keep having it my way, because I'm not scared of rejection. That's another reason why I'm going to continue to have, whatever the fuck I want to have. Because I even learned before I got into the game. Listen, some of you squares can even relate. Let me talk to the squares in it. It's squares that know exactly what I'm talking about. Have you ever got at a bitch and you got at a bitch, you know what I mean, on some fluke shit? You know what I mean? You were just talking to her, but you thought in your mind, you know, that she wasn't gonna fuck with you. But the bitch fucked with you. Next thing you know what I mean? You spreading cheeks, you getting head, legs is up, everything. You like, damn. You know what I mean? Like, damn, I'm actually fucking you. Damn. You know what I mean? But you got at her on some like, man, I know she probably ain't gonna, you know what I mean, gonna give me that she got a man, you know. She about to tell me she got a man. She about to tell me that she married. She about to tell me she a lesbian and all of this dumbass shit. She gonna tell me she like girls. She gonna tell me that, you know what I mean, she's celibate and she abstinent right now. She trying to find God and all this old shit. And you ended up getting at the bitch. And next thing you know, man, you spreading cheeks. You writing gang graffiti, you know what I mean, on booties, man. Come on, man. So even before I got into the pimping, just my experiences as a square, you know what I mean? Like, it was just certain women that I thought was gonna say no. I thought that, you know what I mean, she might have got on some like, excuse me, you know what I mean, type of shit. But no, you know what I mean? Now, give you a perfect example. Hold on. There we go. I give you another example. I seen somebody that I used to fuck with. You know what I mean? I seen, you know what I mean? We used to be cool back in the day. I had even told somebody this in consultation. I forgot which one of the young P's that I spoke to and told this to. But you know, I seen a nigga on Facebook because I was went to the homies page and I seen this nigga that I used to fuck with in the comment section. I started to say something. I was like, he probably still mad. But this was before I got into the game. This is during the time where Sin had moved to Vegas, left Chicago, moved to Vegas. You know what I mean? I'm 21 years old. You know what I mean? Sin is, you know, skinny as hell. Sin like a good 186. You know what I mean? 6'1", 6'2". So check it out. I come back to the shack. You know, ready to meet the homies, ready to fellowship, ready to kick it, you know. And when I come back to the shy, I meet up with the fellas, and it's time to go to the mall, you know what I mean, to go sit up there and see what we can come up on, or, you know, see who up here. You know, because that's one thing about Chicago niggas. Chicago niggas love to stay in the mall, you know. So, you know what I mean, we fall up in the mall. You know what I mean? If you notice, even R. Kelly, everything he nigga just sing about, just going to the mall. So, you know, we in the mall, and my nigga used to, this same girl, you know what I mean, back in high school, you know, I remember her, but I was saved at the time. So, of course, we didn't have no, you know, communication, you know. But I ended up seeing this one girl, you know what I mean, that I you know, used to fellowship, you know what I mean, sit up there, yeah, hey, God bless you. You know, we never had a minute conversation. Everything was, oh, how you doing today? Good morning, blessings. I'm trying to tell you, sin was saved. So I didn't play. So, okay, make a long story short, you know, we went up into the little store. You know what I mean? I'd say what's up to her and everything like that. You know, he's speaking to her and everything like that. But when this one bitch, you know, came from the back, you know, she just had some big ass titties. Like, the titties is just gangbang. Like, have you ever seen like Jason's lyrics when the old girl came to the counter, you know what I mean, with the big titties and shit? You know what I mean? Tretch sister and Jason's lyrics when she was like, you know, this is it. That bitch. I can't even remember that bitch in Jason's lyrics name, but you know how I'm talking about. The one with the big titties, she was Tretch. No, matter of fact, she wasn't Tretch sister. Or was she? No, she wasn't. Jada Pinkett was Tretch's sister. The one with the big titties was Tretch bitch. That was the one that Tretch was fucking outside the house. But anyway, old girl had titties like her. So I'm already glued in, seeing like titties. You know what I mean? I like, I've always liked thickness and shit. So she come out gang banging with the titties. And I could tell he wanted to say something. Shit, we all wanted to say something. But he just freezing up. I was like, man, I got quiet so you could talk to her. Why you didn't say nothing? Man, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, Joe, I was looking at the titties, Joe, and man, I got scared, Joe. I'm in my mind like, so you got scared of the titties? So it just fucked me up. It just fucked. I'm like, I thought you was in front. You was right standing next to her. So I'm thinking that you about to get to her. You know what I mean? I always been like that. Respectful to the next man's campaign. Even as a square, I thought you was gonna get at the bitch. So I'm looking at him like, I'm kind of looking at him crazy. So make a long story short, my nigga, we came back to the mall. He did the same exact thing. He didn't say nothing to that bitch. I'm like, okay, let me go talk to her for you. No, no, no. You got that one friend that you like, okay, let me talk to her for you. No, no, don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. And I'm like, man, it's cool. You know what I mean? All you got that's your reason to keep coming in the store. That one of your classmates worked there and you just coming up in there. And then in the process, you could get it hurt. This shit too easy. He like, no, 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 don't say nothing to her. Don't say. So I lied to you not. I come back in that I came back up in that motherfucker by myself, man. I know some of y'all gonna be like, seeing you ain't shit. But yeah, man, you know what I mean? You can't say that I ain't shit because, I sit up there and he was going to get at the bitch for him. You can't sit up there and say that, you know what I mean, that I ain't shit when I was going to get at the bitch for him. But make a long story short, man, after he froze up again, and then when I was even willing to holler at the bitch for him, and he froze up, I was like, man, shit, man, shit. So I came up into the motherfucking mall myself, man. You know? So when we sit up there, you know what I mean? I come through easy. I didn't even talk to her for 5 minutes, man. Got the number and everything. It was less than a week that I was sitting over there, you understand me, bending her over, doing my thing. Facts. Getting right to it. And so you already know the type of nigga, not anybody just know me, been knowing me all my life before the game and in the game. I like to talk shit. So, you know what I mean? The moment that I come back around, I sit up there and I tell her, I'm like, yeah, man, right, Clyde. He was on some shy. Yeah, he was on some shy guy shit. Clyde, you stupid. Nigga was on some fly guy shit. But you know what was so fucked up? And this is just how you gotta check your crowd to see who you around. Cause even though I was a square at the time, I was just looking at this nigga crazy. Because after I told him that I had fucked the bitch, he was in his feelings about it. And it wasn't even his bitch. You was scared to get at her. I was even willing to get at the bitch for you. But now you looking crazy because I got at her? Like, yeah, it was like, you got at her behind my back. I was like, but she wasn't even your bitch. That's why I say, y'all can have that square life because them feelings, them emotions and shit like that, in the emotional world, nothing has to make sense. Nothing has, listen, you know what I mean? Nothing has to make sense. But I just knew that, I was like, I knew this nigga ain't, I know you ain't tripping over, that wasn't even your bitch. That's not even your girl. And then, and then what upset me was, I was like, shit, you could even still talk to her. Nigga, I said this shit is a square. God is my witness. You could even still talk to her. We not in no relationship or nothing, you know? But I'm just telling you that I had the proper grooming to be even, I went through certain experiences. It wasn't just, I read a book or, no, I'm showing you that the reason why sin is so confident at getting at bitches is because I was getting at bitches. Did you see how simple that sound? The reason why sin is so confident at getting at bitches, because I've been getting at bitches for years. See, you want to have consultation. You want to look at YouTube videos and all of that shit. You want to do everything but get at the bitch. You want to read a book. You want to watch a documentary. You want to watch pimp movies. You want to see pimps talk slick. You want to do everything but get at the bitch. You got to get at that bitch, man. After you finish listening to AMS and Dr. BOA and Saint in the Center and I don't know, it's some other guys that's on here. After you watch Freeze, after you look at Dre, after you look at you still gotta get at that bitch. Young man, you still gotta get at that bitch. You still got to get at that bitch. You gotta get at that bitch. Now, what I will tell you is, for example, and I ain't trying to make y'all laugh or anything like that, but let me just tell y'all, I'm just giving you the science of this shit. Just listen to me. The young guy that called up Kevin Samuels, and Kevin Samuels was like, "How big is your dick?" I'm sorry, I can't just say that without laughing, but the guy that was on the phone with Kevin Samuels, when Kevin stood up there and said, do you got a big dick? And when Kevin said, she don't even get to enjoy a big dick. You making, I forgot how much he made. I think he was making less than $1,000 a month. I think it was something like 10 or maybe 11,000 a year. All of that shit, right? Check it out. Sin is, well, I ain't gonna get into that, whether gay or not. That's not my point of bringing that up. My point of bringing that up is that even in that circumstance that he's in, fat, because from that conversation, I think dude was fat. And if you making less than $1,000 a month, broke, Kevin asked him, did he have a big dick? Dude was like, I forgot who he said he ain't, but from what he was saying, sound like, he wasn't, whatever. So, but let me tell you something. I'm just giving it to you young niggas, man, the way that this shit is. I ain't trying to disrespect nobody's doctrine or whatever the fuck they saying. But I'm telling you that even if you broke, even if you fat as hell, even if you short, you could be skinny with no muscles. You could be tall and awkward looking. You might be one of them tall, awkward looking motherfuckers. But even with all of your shortcomings, I guarantee you that if you develop a habit, I'm telling you, even fat, you could be fat, you could be out of shape, you could be broke as hell, you could have a little dick. I don't know what your shortcomings is. I ain't even trying to find out. But even with all of these shortcomings, in whatever, area that you coming up short in, I guarantee you that if you made yourself available and you exercise your conversation, every day by getting at bitches Eventually, you're going to end up knocking something. Believe it or not, you're going to end up knocking something. What you have to understand, people can consider you to be trash, but even the trash can gets a steak every now and then. You know, somebody might be like, oh man, this trash ass nigga, oh man, you ain't shit. Hey, even a trash can get a steak every now and then. Why? That trash can is available. You know? So I said all that to say this. You know, I'm not trying to go against anybody's doctrine or whatever they telling you on these little platforms and things like that. But I'm just telling you the results of getting and staying at a bitch. After you read all of these books and all of that type of shit. Now, this is what I will tell you. You can read, you can work out, you know what I mean? You could do all of these things to better yourself, to make it easier for you to knock. That's what they should tell you. That by working out, by becoming more knowledgeable, that makes it more easier for you to knock. But by saying that it's impossible for you to knock, being out of shape, having no money, and they make it like it's impossible, it's not impossible. It's not. Those that saying it's impossible, you know what I mean? These are individuals that don't be getting their bitches. You know? Because even as beautiful as Holly, I think that's how you say her name, Holly Calhoun. If you look at my thumbnail, you know what I mean? The bitch that's in front, that's actually R. Kelly's ex-girlfriend. If you go to Instagram and you put in Holly Calhoun, you'll just see how beautiful this bitch is. You know, she's pretty as hell. But as pretty as she is, you know, I know from experience that you or myself or whoever, you know what I mean, you could be broke and you can still knock that bitch. You don't have to have a certain amount of money to get at this woman because she's attractive. That I know that's what they preaching to you guys, but no. I keep telling you that, you know, you need to have confidence in yourself. And you need to stop allowing the appearance, you know, of a woman to be the interference, you know what I mean, from you speaking this game. Hold on. So you could be down on your luck. You could be fucked up. You could be currently holeless and doleless. P, I'm carless right now. P, I don't got no suit. I don't have anything right now, man. You talking about getting at this badass bitch. Man, she ain't gonna want to hear nothing that I got to say. And you right. I agree with you. I agree. Because that's what you think. As a man thinketh, so is he. So if you mentally have deceived yourself into thinking that, you know, you got to have a certain attire, you got to have this amount of money, and you got to have this, then you're right. You do got to have that because you think that you have to have all that. So because you think that you have to have all of that to have this bitch that got insecurities, you know what I mean? She do things that's contrary to that which is right, just like everybody else. You know what I mean? You do. You're right. You know? You right, because you think like that. That's why you gotta have all of that. Because you think the world of the bitch. See, all of these guys trying to come up with all of these galaxy doctrines and shit like that. I bring this shit right back to simplicity. And simplicity is this, son. Is the reason why I'm gonna end up knocking the bitch is because unlike yourself, I don't think the world of her. You think the world of the bitch. I don't. You know, you think the world of her like, oh my God, she's so hot. She's so intelligent. She's, oh my God. Oh. When I see her, I might listen, pay attention for a while. I might end up seeing somebody that's hurt. I might see some. I'm gonna end up seeing an individual that's in need of game, that's gameless. You know? Hold on. By you looking, once again, I got to keep saying this and keep saying this again. By you looking at this woman with the eyes of lust, you cannot see, you know what I mean, this woman. You can't see who she really is because you're looking at her with the eyes of lust. You're looking at ass. You're looking at titties. You're looking at a pretty ass face. You're looking at the attire. You're looking at the European fashion designers, you know what I mean, that she bought and spent thousands on. I'm not looking at that. If you actually look at her, you know what I mean, from the eyes of the game, you will actually see, you know, you might end up seeing somebody who's hurt, fatherless, friendless, somebody who's gameless, you know, somebody that's clueless. You will see all of these shortcomings. You will see all the vulnerabilities. You will see all of the areas, you know, where she is in need of you. But you can't see that the woman is in need of you if you see the woman is the physical form of God. If you looking at her like a goddess and queen of 2,000 moons and all that old dumbass shit, you know what I mean? Then yeah, you already mentally defeated. You know? That's why when you look at the pimp game, you be like, how that ugly ass nigga knocked that badass bitch? Because when he saw that bitch, he looked at her from the eyes of the game. He didn't look at her from the eyes of lust like a trick dude. See, the difference between me and Tommy Sotomayor, I'm going to take it there. You know, because it's all over the internet. I'm not giving you a brand new revelation. But, you know, Tommy's been known to get into DMs and text girls, you know, let me take care of you. Let me send for you. How many bills you got? Let me take care of that. Why won't you let me take care of you? You know, and all of that. You know, he sees a woman that's fine and attractive and bad as hell, and he instantly like, oh my God, how much do you need? That same bitch that he would look at with the eyes of lust, that same bitch I would see as an individual that can get me all the green dollars to say in God we trust. You know, I want to say that once again. You know, he's going to look at her with the eyes of lust. I'm going to see the same bitch and see the potential of this woman basically, you know what I mean, getting all the dollars to say in God we trust. We have two different visions. We got two different visions, you know, and that's many of you, whether you admit it or not, some of you guys are professing to be pimps, but you're looking at attractive women the same as tricks do. Did you hear what I just said? Some of you are professing to be pimps and you're looking at women the same way that tricks do. You say you a pimp and you might even got a bitch or bitches that's hoeing for you. But when you see certain IG models or when you see somebody that's like hella bad, you looking at her the same way a square this trick does. And you shouldn't even be looking at her like that. And what I mean by that is not so much as, you know, fine, attract. No, but you just drooling to the point where you think she's so attractive that you wouldn't even say nothing to her. Some of you are so caught up in the celebrity and popularity of certain women that if you seen them in person, you wouldn't say a goddamn thing. Facts. Certain R&B singers, certain models, you know what I mean, IG thoughts, you know what I mean, could be standing right next to you in the airport and you are speaking the vernacular of silence to that bitch right now. Wouldn't say a goddamn thing. Some of you niggas be talking all of this shit, you know what I mean, and yelling at Shaquita. You be trying to get at chlamydia. You be sweating gonorrhea on Figueroa. You know what I mean? But a motherfucker can sit you right next to $1 million bitch on a plane right now. Y'all can be riding a plane for 5 fucking hours and you wouldn't say a goddamn thing to that bitch. Facts. Facts. Sit the nigga, some of these niggas that be talking all of this shit on. Hold on. There we go. You know, some of them niggas that you think they're just so turned up, like, damn, man, this nigga, man, whoo. Damn, this nigga be popping, pimping. Damn, this nigga be sitting up. This nigga got so much to, damn. Woo. Damn, this nigga is just the god of the game. You be listening to them niggas that be giving you pimp tutorials on Instagram and they mama's car and all of that shit. You be listening to niggas giving pimp tutorials and they ain't got no teeth in their goddamn mouth. And you think you understand me that they this game. You could take them same niggas and put them on a jet or an airplane, sit them right next to Kim Kardashian or Kylie. Sit him right there, right next to the bitch for 5 fucking hours. He got all day to just say whatever he want to say. Bitch ain't got no headphones on or nothing. She just looking dead ahead. And the nigga ain't said a goddamn thing. Scared out of his mind. Scared shitless. Hold on. There we go. Ain't gonna say nothing, but gonna talk all of this pimping on Facebook. That used to be one of my problems with Danky P. Danky would get on Facebook and he'd make all of these statuses about pimping. Pimping this, pimping that, pimping this, pimping that. But when we outside, you know, when it come to getting at a badass bitch, you know what I mean? Or just a bitch that's too bad, he not gonna say a goddamn thing. Clyde, I've been in the clubs with Clyde. You put a badass white bitch, or it could even be a black bitch. If she's too bad, he not gonna say a goddamn thing to her. Niggas be out in the streets looking for certain types. They be looking for bitches that's down on their luck or looking a damn fool and shit. Facts. I've been, listen, I'm not talking internet shit. I've been in the streets with certain individuals. I'm only mentioning certain ones because these are individuals that y'all know. But they're not like that. They're not like that. They're not the life of the party. They only the life of the party, you understand me, when it's a bitch that look like she not even supposed to be in the party. Hold on. Man, I appreciate that, man. Good looking. Hold on, let me see who came in. Appreciate that. Right. King Dipper is laughing, but bro, I'm telling you the truth. And I'm even using certain individuals. I've exposed the greenness of my past, and I'm speaking on certain individuals that you even know, you know what I mean, now. But if you really think about it, and some of y'all that know me or know the people that I'm saying, you know this shit to be true. Only reason why, if certain niggas ended up getting a bitch that looked decent or looked good, you knew it was some fluke shit. Because you know this nigga didn't just walk dead up to this bitch, you know what I mean, and holler at her and spit nothing but pimping out of his mouth. You just know that certain niggas ain't gonna do it because he's not capable. He's scared. Yes, some of these niggas that be claiming to be big old gangbangers and, oh, I was the biggest blood, or I was the biggest crip, or I was doing this. Put a bad bitch in front of them, nigga ain't got nothing to say. Nigga just scared as hell. Facts. You know? Some of y'all gonna be in my comment section. And see, I know that I'm hurting certain feelings because like I said, sometimes my super chat just be off the chain when I'm talking about this pimping. But because I'm hitting certain niggas in the chest and I'm telling that you don't have nothing to say to a bitch, that your summer, this summer is gonna be like the last summer and the summer before that if you don't change your motherfucking ways, if you don't update your pimping, if you don't exercise your pimping, if you don't get at the bitch, if you don't stay at the bitch, if you don't, you understand me, be available. And even though I was talking about that square ass nigga that I used to fuck with that got mad when we were square, when I was a square and shit, and I fucked on the bitch at the mall that he wanted to fuck, but he was scared. He didn't have the guts to say nothing to her. Some of you niggas are just like that in the game. I'm gonna show you that in the pimping. P, how is some of the niggas like that in the game? He's a square. How you got niggas like that in the game? I'll show you. You got niggas in the pimp game that'll sit up there and say, who got that bitch? He'll find out who that bitch fucking with, and he get mad. He gonna get upset. Oh man, how she fucking with him? He ain't no pimp. That nigga ain't got no pimping, man. That nigga ain't this. This nigga ain't that. That nigga ain't this. That nigga ain't that. But one thing that nigga do got is availability. One thing that nigga do got, you know, some of these niggas used to see these same broads down on the blade, you know, and wouldn't say nothing to her. You got niggas in the pimp game professing to be pimps, see a bitch on the blade in the casino day in, day out, and won't say a word to her because of how she's dressed, because of how she's looked. And then when the pimping that, you know what I mean, they come with the boldness, they come with the confidence of a fucking lion, you understand me, spitting more motherfucking game this bitch can even remember, spitting game like an M16, you know, at the bitch ear. And he sit up there, you understand me, and give her a whole motherfucking buffet of this shit, or all you can hear buffet of this game, as Freeze would say. You know what I mean? The bitch, when she choose, now you talking about what he ain't and how he ain't the pimping and how he ain't this and why she fucking with him. But I mean, how would she be able to fuck with you? With your scary ass. You didn't say nothing. You didn't get at the bitch. You know what I mean? Why you mad at that man because he did something that you didn't do? Wait a minute, excuse me. Oh man, he ugly as hell. Oh, he looked terrible. Now you want to talk about this man's looks and minimize this man because this man was a man and he got at this one man, did something that you had plenty of opportunities to do and didn't do it. So now you want to make jokes in a circle of pimps and talking about what he ain't and what he ain't. But one thing that he did do, he utilized, you understand me, what he had to say out that brain of his. He got that bitch down and about it. You know? We got niggas in the game that's scared of hoes. I just got to be honest with you. It's not just a square thing. I done experienced it in the pimping. I done seen certain niggas, you understand me, scared to get at certain niggas' hoes and shit. You know, one nigga was in my house, he was like, you know, I'm just keeping it real. Shout out to, I don't want to, you know, bro might not want his business out there, but y'all know who I'm talking about. You know, out that Houston, you know, he not from Houston, but he done did his thing in Houston. Ain't nobody, I know nobody that done had, you know, well, it's a few people that done had just as much money. Yeah, but y'all wouldn't know that. But this is one of the ones in that Houston that really was having it their way, man. And this one nigga was at my house, and I was showing him different pictures that my partner had sent me of his bras and shit. He was like, man, damn. This came out this nigga mouth. He's like, man, damn. He said, man, this nigga say, I gotta get my shit together before I can get at one of these hoes. Did you hear what I just said? Did you hear this retarded ass shit that I just said out of my mouth? That this man said, I gotta get my shit together before I say something to one of these hoes. Man, these hoes, man. Look at this, look at the way this nigga thought. He looked at them bitches and said, I gotta get my shit together before I can say something to one of these hoes. Come on, man. You need to get your shit together because you need to get your shit together, but you don't gotta get your shit together to say something, you understand me, to a hoe. The fuck? You gotta get your shit, I gotta get my shit together. You so on another level that I know I'm a feel out of place. Like, no. You know, no. I don't like the way that even. Imagine King Difference having hoes, and King Difference got some hoes, and I look at his hoes like, damn, I gotta graduate, I gotta go to this school, I gotta go to Berkeley and get a doctor's degree and get me a mansion home and get 3 Phantoms before I even say hello to one of King Difference bitches. Like what? You right, and you know what? You right, because you already mentally defeated. You know, you're already mentally defeated. I can't say this scripture enough. As a man thinketh, so is he. As a man thinketh, so is he. As a pimp thinketh, so is he. Your pimping will only be as big as your definition of what pimping is. Your pimping will only be as big as your vision of what pimping is. Your campaign, your knock hand, will only be as big as what your confidence is. You know, some of you are not exercising pimping. You know, me personally, I love to talk to women. So, of course, I'm always exercising pimping. At the grocery store, everywhere I go, seeing be flirting with women that I'm not even attracted to. I just love to put a smile on a woman's face. You know, I love to just see somebody who had the spirit of discouragement and I can just speak a word and now she got the spirit of encouragement. Just showing the power that I have, just exercising my pimping. I don't even want the bitch. I'm not sexually attracted to her, nor do I want her to be my hoe. I'm just exercising my game. I'm exercising my pimping. You know, one thing that any pimp will tell you that's sweating hoes every day, that's campaigning every day, that's driving up and down that blade every day, or in them casinos or resorts, malls or whatever every day, he will tell you that as you keep continuing on to get at broads, you know what I mean? You will always have something new to say. You be like, damn, where'd that come from? I didn't even think of that. I didn't rehearse that. I didn't premeditate that. That's because that's because you're exercising pimping. As you keep exercising your pimping, you'll be better at your campaigning, getting at bitches. But you can't get better at campaigning and make your catch hand better, you know what I mean, if you're content and complacent, you know what I mean, not doing anything. You know? You gotta challenge yourself. Many of you are not challenging yourself. You will never do it big or never do anything big in the game, you know what I mean, because you too scared. You know, you don't want to be a giant. You don't want to say anything to that bitch or endeavor to have that broad. So you go to them little mediocre bitches that anybody can have. Instead of you going after women that, you know what I mean, that anybody and everybody couldn't have, you go at bitches that everybody could have. You comfortable, you know what I mean, getting at bras that, you know what I mean, a square motherfucker could have. You know, a trick motherfucker that's repeating what pimps say, you know what I mean, can have that bitch. Ain't nothing special about having that broad. You know, you're not challenging yourself. You know, hold on. You're not challenging, you know, 1, 2, 3 ABC ass bitches. When you gonna challenge yourself? When you going some of you have actually been blessed with opportunities to pimp. You had a fine, beautiful woman who was intelligent. And instead of you investing the time, instead of you know what I mean, putting your mind into knocking this broad, you gave up. Many of you gave up. The game blessed you with an opportunity to pimp, gave you a woman that was marketable, beautiful, and if you had knocked her and, you know what I mean, it would have been a profitable time. But, you know, because you knew, you know what I mean, that it was going to be difficult to knock her because she wasn't going to be one of them brides that just, you say choose and she just go immediately, you just gave up. You did not put in the time. You did not invest, you know what I mean, time into her. So that's why you don't have her. But if you did, you know what I mean, invest, you know what I mean, your time into that situation, you would have been on another level by now. You know, but you just keep going after them bitches that anybody and everybody, you know what I mean, can have. It's not just an appearance thing, it's an intelligence thing. You want you a woman, you know what I mean, that's not only beautiful, but her mind is just as beautiful as her appearance. That's beautiful. It ain't just a woman who just got a physical appearance that got a youth that's going. When you having a conversation with her, you know what I mean? She's witty, she don't just quickly, immediately, to comply, to what you're saying, this for when you're trying to first have a beautiful square. She's challenging that. And some of you, you keep running away from the challenge, man. What is sin saying? You really don't want to pimp. I've been saying this for so long. You don't want to pimp. Many of you just want to live off the earnings of prostitution. You just want to charge a bitch. You just want to break a hoe, but you don't want to pimp. You don't want to do the pimping. You just want to do the breaking. You just want to do all of the so-called fun parts. You just want to fuck. You want your dick sucked. You just want money, but you don't want to invest, any intelligence and have patience, to build this woman into what she's supposed to be. In other words, you don't want. Most of the guys today that profess to be pimps, they just want to live off the earnings of prostitution, but they don't want to pimp. They just want the breaking part. That's all they want. Hold on for a minute. There we go. They just want some money. They just want some sex, but they don't want to pimp. They want materialistic things. They want that car. He might want that house. He might want some jewelry. He want fly clothes. He want to be able to look fly on Instagram. Hold on for a minute. So that's what we have today. Most of the guys that saying that they pimps, professing to be pimps, they just want to look fly. Hold on. That's all. And I know that one of my little brothers is listening right now, and I know he don't mind me saying this. I ain't putting his name out there, but he know I'm telling the truth. I gave not too long ago. I gave one of my little brothers in the game. I gave him a bitch. Okay, I gave one of my little brothers in the game a bitch. And this is what I mean by you niggas just want to live off the earnings of prostitution, but you really don't want to pimp. I give the nigga the bitch, I'm in Canada and everything like that. And I knew she was one of them bras that, needed something physical around her, something tangible. She wasn't one of them individuals that could actually just listen to instructions and, execute. No, she needed something physical around her. So, I took one of my little brothers, and I say, listen, man, I'm gonna give you this broad. I'm gonna put y'all in the mix together. I'm gonna tell her to fuck with you, everything. So, the little broad gets some money up after I done hooked everything up. She decided to sit up there, and fuck with him. But because he didn't have patience, and because he didn't want to listen, to his big brother. And by him not having no patience, that same bitch that I'm speaking about right now, yeah, she fucking with Freeze. And let me say this, Freeze checking it like a motherfucker. Yeah. I'm gonna let Freeze tell how he got it. I ain't gonna go into all of that, but the same bitch that I'm talking about now, she fucking with Freeze, and Freeze checking it like a motherfucker out her booty. Now, when I told my little brother, I say, man, that bitch, that I gave you, man, I just sit up there and talk to Freeze, man, and Freeze checking this and he checking that and checking this and checking that and checking this and checking that. Freeze doing his thing, man. You know what I mean? With the bitch, man. You know, really sitting over there checking these bankrolls, you know what I mean, out of her booty, man. I said, see, you was playing with that bitch. You know? Now here you is, you didn't sit up there, you know what I mean, and got angry and got upset, you know what I mean, and got mad, you know, threw the bitch away. And look at Free sitting over there just checking it out the bitch and shit like that. I can tell you many reasons on why you guys are not at the level that you desire to be or should be and things like that. You know. And that's another reason. A lot of y'all not just being afraid of the appearance of a fine, attractive woman, but some of y'all don't have the patience. And so because you don't have the patience, you know what I mean? Look at the results. My little brother, he no longer has the bitch. But Freeze got her. You know? It's hard to keep your cool sometimes. For real, for real. Man, fuck all of that. I understand what you saying, but man, is you gonna pimp or not? It's so simple. Is you gonna pimp or not? Pimp or die alone? Is you gonna pimp or not, nigga? You know what I'm saying? Is you gonna pimp or is you gonna die alone? You know? You gonna pimp on this bitch, man. You gonna pimp on this hoe, man. You really gonna sit up there, you understand me, and pimp up, or you gonna die alone, nigga? Which one you gonna do? You know? All of this crying and shit. You know, it's hard, man. You know, she be getting on my nerves, P. You know what I mean? And, you know, sometimes, P, I be feeling like I had more peace of mind when I was in prison, man. And, you know, man, these bitches, man, bro, I be smoking more, man. And I just be losing my patience, bro. I'm getting gray hair now. And you niggas is weird, man. You know? Crazy. Hold on for a minute. P, if you give someone a hoe, does she still have to come with a choosing fee? This is the thing, man. The game must be respected. You know, and yes, because even if that hoe had gave me some money, what the fuck that got to do with the next man? You know, like, how would that sound? You know, a nigga saying, "Oh yeah, you already gave Sin the choose a fee." You know what I mean? That's cool. Come on. Wait. Let me let everybody get back up in here. But Dre, how would that look? How would that sound, Dre? You know what I mean? If the bitch, she sit up there, you understand me? She come with money, you know, to me, she pay me, but then I say, you know what I mean, I'm gonna give you to my partner, you know what I mean, because you need somebody physically around you and you know, woo 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 woo, you know, and plus, you know, this is one of my young proteges, he not gonna, you know, tell you nothing wrong, woo 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 woo. And one of my young niggas saying, oh, you already paid Sin? Oh, it's cool. Like, come on, bro. You smarter than that, Dre. No, I gotta get on you because you've been sitting under this pimping too long. Some questions, if you just sit down long enough and you allow the game to minister to you, you ain't gotta ask Sin that. You know what I mean? How a bitch look like? You already gave Sin the fee. Oh, you already gave Sin the fee? All right. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know. Yeah, just give me the game. I already gave Sin some money. Oh, okay. I'ma just get. Oh, hell no. You know, you know. Then that pimp should be like when that bitch called for that bail money, be like, I'm locked up. Yeah, but Sin told me he already bailed you out one time. You know what I mean? I ain't gotta do that. You know, Sin bailed you out before. You know? Daddy, they over here beating my ass. They over here jumping me. Sin already told me he rescued you one time. Sin had already did that, so I ain't got to put myself in danger because, you know, Sin had already done it. His hit the like button, man, if you haven't already hit the like button, man. You know? Oh my God. But let me just explain this to you guys. You know, when you really want to win, you're gonna do that with you're gonna do that which is needed to win. You're gonna make that sacrifice to win. And if you don't make that sacrifice to win, then it's simple. You don't want to win. If you knew, you know what I mean, that by losing weight and getting in shape, that would help your catch hand, and you didn't do it, it's simply because you didn't want your catch hand to get any better. If you wanted to, represent the pimping better, verbally, you would take out the time to educate yourself, then read. You would actually listen to different people speak, in different tutorials, or watch watch videos pertaining to spirituality or mathematics or science and things like that. And you'll hear some words that you're not familiar with. And unlike most, you actually look the word, you're going to always do that, what's needed to win. It's just like, for example, when you look at the bodybuilders, and what is that? I think I'm saying the right movie. What was the movie that Arnold Schwarzenegger and Luke Ferrigno was in? Was that what's the movie? Come on, man. What's the Pumping Iron? So anyway, in Pumping Iron, not only do you got to be swole, but you got to have the right poses. You might just have a wonderful body, but you don't have the right poses. Everything got to be right when you're endeavoring to, be number one. And, you might come amongst competition and you will see other individuals, that have taken time to make sure that, that they were perfect. And that's why it's good to come amongst those, that, are better than you at that particular time. Always remember that in the beginning, when the Crips on the West Side, was doing their thing, Tookie even admitted that he wasn't the biggest at that time. That there was a certain time when other Crips, was bigger than him. But Tookie wanted to be, big. Tookie wanted to be, the biggest. Tookie wanted to be as big, really. Tookie wanted to be bigger than Craig Monson. He wanted to be that. So it was a sacrifice, that he had to make. You got to make sacrifices. And some of you young peas need to make sacrifices. You need to be looking at Freeze, not saying I'm going to be like him. I need to be greater than that. I want to represent the pimping greater than that. If you one of them motherfuckers, some of you niggas got some good genetics. If you was to get under that arm and make certain sacrifices, man, it's going to be hard for a bitch to tell you no. It wasn't about the lifestyle that you was in. A bitch like whatever lifestyle he in, I'm trying to fuck with him. What's happening? How is it? Let's look at two individuals right quick. That ain't nothing but this game. Okay, let me let the crowd get back, but that ain't nothing but this game. I'm going to speak. Let's look at Brother Malcolm and let's look at Stanley Tookie Williams. Can we do that? Yeah, I think we can do that. Let's look at Brother Malcolm X and let's look at Stanley Tookie Williams. These are two men that live different lifestyles, that represent something totally different. But when you look at Brother Malcolm represents the Nation of Islam to the highest degree with elegance and peaceful, thank you, with intelligence. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad made him the spokesman of the Nation of Islam because Brother Malcolm was the greatest representation at that particular time. People can think whatever they think. I've heard different people bring up other people. Man, let me tell you, there was no student that was greater than Malcolm X at that time. Stop it. If there was a greater student that was greater than Brother Malcolm, you know what I mean, then the Honorable Elijah Muhammad would have raised him up. You know, appreciate that, Dre, for the 20. Good looking bird, man. You know, Brother Malcolm said that a representative of, when you represent something, you're supposed to be able to present, represent, and defend. And Brother Malcolm was able to present the information, represent the information, and defend the information. When you see Brother Malcolm in debates with different beautiful minds of other walks of life, you know what I mean, that have education from the best schools. Do you see Brother Malcolm, you know what I mean, stuttering? Do you see Brother Malcolm looking intimidated? Do you see Brother Malcolm looking inferior? No, Brother Malcolm took the individuals that you guys classified to be the greatest minds of society, you know what I mean? And he made a variety of them look dumb, look silly. You know, hold on. There we go. You know, Brother Malcolm was sharp. And when you study the life of Brother Malcolm, you see that he only ate one meal a day. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said that he's never seen Brother Malcolm eat more than one meal within the day. When Brother Malcolm died, they said that this is the cleanest body that we've ever seen. Brother Malcolm didn't smoke cigarettes. Brother Malcolm wasn't in adultery. Brother Malcolm wasn't in, hypocrisy to the point where, the adversaries, you know what I mean, could do him the way they tried to do, the way they did Dr. Martin Luther King. They was looking for a scandal, but because Brother Malcolm's life wasn't in hypocrisy, they couldn't. They just couldn't. Brother Malcolm was disciplined. That's why individuals that are Christians and Muslims and Baptists and Buddhists, you know what I mean, even though their doctrines are different, when they think of discipline, they think of Brother Malcolm. Because he was the greatest representation of the Nation of Islam at that particular time. But how could you become the greatest representation of a nation if you're not disciplined? If you don't make countless daily sacrifices every day to be the best representation of the nation? That takes sacrifice. Why is sin saying all of that? I'm saying that whatever lifestyle that you represent, you make the sacrifices to represent that lifestyle to the highest degree. Whatever you are. And I'm definitely talking to the young pimpin'. So you don't got to be a Muslim to learn, you know what I mean, or be inspired by other representations of different lifestyles. But like I said, when you look at Brother Malcolm, how do you think that he was able to speak so fluently and eloquently when he was ministering the Quran, when he would quote from the King James Version, when he would make different historical and political points? You know what I mean? How did you think he was able to do that if the brother didn't read, if the brother didn't listen? Malcolm was a walking epistle. Brother Malcolm was a museum of knowledge and wisdom. He was the embodiment of information. How could he be that if he doesn't take out the time to read and study and educate himself? You had brothers, that were, hold on, excuse me, there we go. No, let me do this for him. Because I don't need anybody that's small-minded, in my classroom, because I've given you guys too many examples for you to be that slow. But he was a great representation simply because he made the sacrifices to get the information that he had. You can't represent a lifestyle without the information. In other words, you can't represent the lifestyle without the game. We know game to be what? Information, knowledge, the know-how, the outstanding understanding. So let's look at Brother Stanley Tookie Williams. When you look at Took, don't you understand that it took a great mind to achieve even the physical goals? The physical goals that he achieved? That has to start mental. For you to have a body like that, that starts mentally before it even the results are even produced physically. That means that mentally you had to come to a realization that this was what I wanted to do, and you had to have the discipline to pull that off. As a man thinketh, so is he. You had to have the discipline to pull that off. Tookie said that he was going to be the biggest Crip. He had a mindset to represent the Crippin on a whole nother level, and he did that. Now, of course, he's not a founder, of many believe. Some people think that Tookie was equivalent to Raymond Washington. They think that he was the founder, of West Side Crip. That's what Google and everything will tell you. But thanks to Kev Mack, we know the true, Crip history. But one thing that I will tell you, when it comes to representation, and that's why you have jealousy, within the Crippin for Tookie, because when you think about Crippin, you think about Tookie Williams. That's why. When you think about Crippin, you think about Big Took. Why? Because of the countless sacrifices that he made to have the appearance that he had. He looks like the definition of a gangster. When you think of gangster, when you think of a swole ass nigga, when you think of a killer, nigga, you understand me, knocking your motherfucking door down and beating your ass because you're not a Crip, you think of a motherfucker that's the size of Big Took. That's why he made countless sacrifices to look like that. You know what I mean? That's why. People can say whatever they want to say about Jamel. Jamel made countless sacrifices to look the way that he looked. It's just that his genetics wasn't the way, Took's genetics was. But anybody will tell you that was around Jamel that, Jamel used to be a swole, strong motherfucker as well. So, you had all of them Crips back in the day, they was determined, to represent Crippin'. And my question to you is, how is it that a gangster, a gangbanger, can make these sacrifices to represent gangbanging and to represent the Crippin', and you don't make these sacrifices to represent the pimpin'? How you gonna represent this pimpin', and you can't spell? Some of y'all be in Facebook groups among pimp and hoe groups and things, and you be misspelling words with a smartphone, and you got bitches correcting you and shit. How you think that make the pimping look? Appreciate that 20, fam. One goofy nigga said, I thought he was talking about knocking. How you gonna knock without the game? How you gonna knock without knowledge? How you gonna represent this game? I thought he was talking about knocking. Get that dumbass nigga out of my class. Get him out of here. He don't want to listen. Man, I thought he talking about Malcolm and all of this stuff. And it's a shame that, that's what the game is full of right now. A bunch of dumbass idiots. A bunch of niggas that don't like to read. A bunch of niggas that don't want to make sacrifices, to be better. A bunch of riddling babies. A bunch of niggas that don't like brushing their teeth. The game is full of niggas right now that don't like water. They treat water like it's a op. They treat soap like it's a op. They treat deodorant like it's a op. They treat clean dress shoes like it's a op. They treat suits like it's a op. They treat being clean as the opposition. They treat being fly as the opposition. That's what the game is full of right now. Niggas that's a rival gang to deodorant and all that shit. Niggas that's scared and fearful of reading books and shit. Too many dumb motherfuckers in the game professing to be a pimp. Sit your dumb ass down. And bitch, stop choosing up with these dumb ass niggas. Please. Niggas can't even spell their name barely on the smartphone and want to sit up there and say who is and who ain't a pimp. Nigga, be quiet. Just too many dumb motherfuckers in the game. Way too many. God damn. So, what I'm saying to you is this. How could you have a conversation with a woman when you have no words to communicate? Somebody had the nerve to say, I thought he was talking about knocking. How you gonna knock if you have no words to knock with? That do take, you gotta read, right? You know you gotta study, right? You know you gotta have discipline, right? So that's why I use one of the two coldest representations that you can use. Because even in gang banging, you know, when you gang banging for real, now of course you got the niggas with the guns and shit, and that's cute. You know what I mean? That you could pull a trigger, but anybody can do that. I'm not really too impressed because you got niggas that got bodies on the street, but when they go to prison, they getting rolled up. You know, just because a nigga might been a gunner on the street, you know what I mean? But now that, you know what I mean, he behind closed, now that he in prison, you know what I mean, he getting rolled up. So I'm not taking away from, you know, he's a shooter. You know? We got a lot of individuals, you know what I mean, that, you know, are shooters. But any nigga that's been in the pen to tell you that, you know what I mean, it was killers, man, that was getting rolled up in the pen. Ain't no guns in the pen. It's every man for himself in the pen. You know? So I mean that you know, the shooting shit, you know what I mean, I ain't gonna take nothing from in the streets. They gonna glorify you. But in prison, you know, that's not gonna work. If you're not a man about yours, you know what I mean, you could be a nigga that they got a cold reputation for killing on the streets, you know what I mean, and in the wrong prison, or if you make the wrong move, you know what I mean, you might get your asshole killed. You might get your mouth killed with a Super Bowl Stanley Cup dick. If you're not a man about yours, if you're not willing to die for it, if you're not willing to die for your man, you know? So, you know, what is saying all of this shit for? Hey, I was simply showing you that, you know, when you take it back to the old days of cripping, you know what I mean? Like matter of fact, just the old days of gang banging, hey man, them dudes was fighting. Them dudes was sitting over there, you know what I mean, fighting like men. You know, they was fighting from the shoulders. So in the days of the gladiators and shit like that, man, niggas was lifting weights. Niggas was learning karate and kung fu and shit like that. It was hand-to-hand combat. It was on some man type shit. You know? So, you know, it take a certain discipline, you know, to learn kung fu. It take discipline to learn karate. It take discipline to lift weights every goddamn day. It take discipline, you know what I mean, to abstain and refrain from eating certain things that'll destroy you. It take discipline. You know? Some of you want to be the representation that I'm talking about. You just not willing to make the sacrifices. But one of you that's listening right now, you gonna make the sacrifices. And that's why I'm teaching and preaching and ministering and depositing this spirit into you right now. You know, because during this summer, you gonna get zoned the fuck out. You gonna sit up there and shut out anything that's unpimpish. Any motherfucker that's not pimping, you ain't gonna have no dealings with them. You know? Any bitch that ain't trying to do no hoeing, any bitch that ain't trying to be beneficial, you know what I mean, to you, ain't got nothing to do with you. Only thing nigga trying to do is read, work out, and fucking campaign. That's it. Ain't got time to be motherfucking going back and forth with dumbass niggas, entertaining niggas and shit. Only thing a motherfucker want to do is read, work out, and campaign. Let me say that again. Seeing what we doing this summer. Read, work out, campaign. That's all a motherfucker want to do. You know what I mean? Is read, work out, campaign. You know, you might not even be trying to get swollen and big, but you're trying to get defined, or you're trying to lose weight. You're trying to, be in shape, And let me just go. I'm just gonna go there. I'm just gonna go there. I wasn't even gonna go there, but some of y'all titties is in the way. Some of y'all stomach is in the way of your success. Get your titties out the way. Get your stomach out the way. You know what I mean? It's not sin, but I'm still knocking. Right, but you're not knocking what, that you could potentially knock. That's not the best that you knock. You can knock something greater than that. But it's certain broads that you'll never be able to have without certain dedication and information. Appreciate that 10. You only got one life to live. This life that you have is worth living. Why not make the sacrifices to live your best life in the one life that you have to live? I'm even reminded of a scripture that says, gather my saints together, those that made a covenant with me by sacrifice. You got to sacrifice, man. You got to sacrifice to look that way. You got to sacrifice to think like that. You got to sacrifice to be able to speak like that, to minister like that, to teach like that, to preach like that. Sacrifice. You only got one life. Now think about this. Like I keep telling, another representation. Look how we in 2021 and it's not a day that go by that people don't talk about Tupac. There's not a day that goes by that people are not thinking about Tupac. Appreciate that 15, bro. Good looking. There's not. Here we are in 2021 and niggas is still talking about what Pac did in 96. And why is that? It's because Pac, in that short time that he had got out of prison, Pac had did so much, from movies to songs, and you know what I mean? He did so much within that little bitty ass time. Now just imagine if Pac was a lazy motherfucker. Just imagine if Pac was a procrastinator. If Pac was in the spirit of procrastination, we wouldn't be talking about Pac in 2021. Appreciate that fact. But the reason why we talk about Pac, in 2021 about the things he did in 96 is because the countless sacrifices that he made within that little ass time. Why you think we still talking about the Honorable Khalid? That's why we talk about the Honorable Khalid Muhammad. We talk about the Honorable Khalid Muhammad because he was one of the greatest black men, that ever lived. That's why we talk about the Honorable Khalid Muhammad. Have you ever seen, matter of fact, if you want to get charged up, to work out, if you want to get charged up to read, I even give you certain things to look up, young pimp. If you want to sit up there, man, P, what can I look up to get charged up about lifting weights? I dare you to just put in Craig Monson. Put in Craig Monson and look at Craig Monson back in the day. Alonzo got some certain videos posted, and everything. And CT, he did even a video with Craig Monson. Look at, the things, look at how big, Craig was at that particular time. And you might not even be trying to get your swole on. You might not even be trying to be big, but you'll still get inspired, to do whatever the hell that you desire to do, with your body. Seeing, who is somebody that I can listen to get charged up as a black man, to read and study. Man, I dare you to go listen to a lecture from Khalid Muhammad. I dare you to go look at Khalid Muhammad when he was on Donahue. Just when he was on Phil Donahue. Go look at Khalid, the way that he represented, the Nation of Islam. Not just that, but just represented black people, period. Look at the confidence of that shiny bald head black man. Go look at that. That's what you want to look at. You want to look at excellence. And if you want to sit up there, and get charged up, if you want to see how an individual went from being active in the game and still living off the game, you know what I mean, changing laws, still doing their thing. Go look at Andre Taylor. If you want to look at somebody like, man, what's the exit game? You know what I mean? Is it any pimps that's still doing their thing? Is it any pimps that's on an elite level? Yeah, go look at Andre Taylor. Look at the things that Andre's doing in the political world. Look at the organization that he created. Look at the position that he now has, you know, in his office in Seattle. Look at that. Inspiration is everywhere. You don't got no excuse to not be the best version of yourself. Man, let's see if we get them likes up to 700. Everybody hit that like button. You can knock any bitch that you want, and every bitch is knockable. And just because you didn't knock that bitch, that don't mean that she wasn't knockable. That just means that you caught her at the wrong time. That's all. You know? All pimps can be delayed, but never denied, baby. You know what I mean? You just came at the wrong time. You know, when it comes to women, you know, everything is about timing. Everything is about timing with women. You know? So you might have just caught her at the wrong time, you know? But don't think that you couldn't have knocked that bitch. You just caught that bitch at the wrong time. You know? But don't be minimizing yourself. Be like, man, she ain't even, man, it might have just been the wrong time. That's all. But don't stop exercising your pimping. Don't stop exercising your mind. You know, you want to be the greatest representation of the lifestyle that you selected to represent. Appreciate that 20, bro. Good looking. There's not a woman, there's not a materialistic thing that you can't have. Appreciate that 20, bro. Good looking. You know, it's nothing that you can't have. You can have that. That's not the question. The question is, can you have that car? Yeah, you can drive that car. P, can I have that mansion? Yeah, you can have that mansion. You can have them clothes. You can own that property. You can have that bitch. You can have them bitches. You can do all of that. That ain't the fucking question. The question is, you know, are you willing to make that sacrifice for the very thing that you profess that you want? You professing with your mouth, but do you truly desire, you know, do you truly possess that feeling that you profess to have? You know what I mean? Do you desire that for real? Because if you desire that for real, you're going to have it. You're going to make the sacrifices to have it. Yes, you can have her. You show P is pretty and gorgeous. Is she can have, man, she fine as a motherfucker, man. She bad. You know, man, she bad. She's not as cold as you. None of them motherfuckers is as cold as you. If you start sitting over there believing in your goddamn self. If you'll make all the motherfucking sacrifices to be the best version of your goddamn self. You know, some of you motherfuckers be talking like you don't own a mirror. You know, get you a mirror, man. You know, a lot of statements that you guys be making and the way that you think. Maybe you need to go to a store, man. Go buy a mirror, man. You know? Yeah. You know, that's another reason why maybe you mentally defeated. Maybe you haven't seen yourself. You know, to look at yourself, you know, black man, and value yourself, you know what I mean, as a black man. Value yourself, you know what I mean, as a handsome black man. You know? Stop saying that. If you notice guys in the game, I don't be saying nothing. Some of them guys be trying to use that. I guess it's a way to pump themselves up when they be like, you know, an ugly nigga like myself. You know, I used to listen to Johnny and Clyde, and they used to make certain little ugly statements about themselves and things like that. And like I said, man, you know, as a man thinketh, so is he. You know, but I want you to value yourself. I don't want no black man to see himself as somebody that is ugly. And then who are you calling you ugly by? A lot of y'all, you know what I mean, judging yourself from what a man done told you. That's gay right there. You judging yourself from what a man told you. You know? How you gonna judge yourself and minimize yourself, you know what I mean, from what a man's standard? Man, what's the name said? You know what I mean? I'm ugly, man. Man. You know? Like that, you sound stupid as hell. You know? Now, of course, I want another man to think I'm ugly. I don't want no man to be thinking like, yeah, man, Sin kind of cute. Man, I was looking at Sin, man, you know what I mean? Man, you know, real handsome dude, man. Oh, matter of fact, I had to block a nigga. Man. Seeing why you blocked the nigga, cause the nigga get in my inbox, he said, hey P, I seen this young picture, and some of y'all been doing that, but I seen this young picture of Paul Mooney, man, and you and Paul Mooney, man, look the same. You know, this picture of Paul Mooney when he was staying in his 70s, man, y'all look just alike, P. You know what I mean? He's like, man, you know, you shouldn't feel offended, man. He was a handsome dude, man. Paul Mooney looked good back in the day. Man, I had to get that nigga out of my inbox, man. Nigga said Paul Mooney looked good back in the day, and he gonna tell me that I look just like him. So, nigga, you telling me, nigga, get your ass on. Trying to flirt with this pimping. You know, niggas be, that scared me like that nigga that got up in my inbox talking about some, you know, yeah, P, you know what I mean? You know, whenever you see me, man, we know we could go out, you know what I mean? Tea on me, man, you know, we could just sit down and chop it up, man, you know, tea on me. Tea? You know what I mean? Nigga invited me to buy teas, man. Nigga said we could go out, get some tea. You know, man, what's wrong with these niggas, man? I don't want to get no tea and no Danish with no nigga, man. What be wrong with these niggas, bro? And hey, I'm gonna keep that shit all the way real. I be real life scared. I be scared. I be like, man, there's really some weirdos, man. Niggas trying to flirt with the pimpin'. No, I'm not trying to eat no Danish with you. I'm not trying to drink tea and eat no Danish with no grown ass man. I don't even like the way that sound. Tea and Danish with a man, man. Like, no, man. Freeze called me. What's going on, P? What you doing? Oh man, I'm just drinking some tea in a Danish, you know what I mean, with a nigga I just met. Like, Freeze gonna hang up the phone, man. You know what I mean? You niggas is weird. I can see why you niggas is not knocking the women that you want. You not knocking the women that you want. You too busy drinking tea and eating Danish with niggas you don't know. Eating Danishes. But anyway, listen to me, and listen to me good. I want you to have a prosperous summer, and I want you to speak it into existence. You know, this ain't for everybody, but for the few people that's dedicated to the game, you really want to have it your way this summer. You really want to do it you really want to just do your thing, man. You know, I keep telling you, you got to have a shutout to have a shut in. In order to get all of the deposits and get consumed in the spirit of pimping, you got to shut out everything that's unpimpish. You got to shut out everybody and everything that's unpimpish. I'm telling you what I know. When you just want to get zoomed the fuck out, when you want to get consumed in the spirit of pimping, you got to shut out everybody and everything that's unpimpish. This ain't the time to be arguing or going back and forth with people and, you know, toxic people calling you and, you know, Wendy Williams ass niggas that want to gossip all the time. Don't pick up the phone for none of them. You know, this is the time to be zoned out. This is the time to get into that serious mode. It's about to be hot outside, and some of the finest, you know, most attractive women is getting ready to be outside, and you gonna have them. Say that. Matter of fact, as you listening, or you might be in your car, you might don't even gotta say. It's gonna be some fine, you know what I mean, attractive women outside. It's gonna be some beautiful women outside. It's gonna be some fine ass, you know what I mean, attractive money getting ass women outside, and I'm gonna have them. And I'm gonna have them. Yeah. I want you to say it in your spirit just like that. I want you to keep saying it in your mind every fucking day. Is when you lifting them damn weights, when you doing them push-ups, when you doing them sit-ups, when you doing them dips, when you doing squats, You know what I mean? When you sitting over there doing pull-ups, when you doing running, or maybe you might be jogging, you know, maybe you losing weight, when you walking up the stairs or you running up the stairs, when you reading, I want you to keep repeating that in your mind. You know what I mean? Success is out there. The property is out there. All of this currency, all these fine, attractive, beautiful, money getting ass women. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna have it. And I'm gonna have them. Everything that I want, I'm gonna have it. Everything that I want, I'm going to have that. Why? Because I'm making the sacrifices to have that. There's not nothing that I can't have. I can have any motherfucking thing that I want. That's what I want you. Say that in your spirit. You know, you might not be able to even listen, you might be out of shape so bad right now, you can't even do 5 real push-ups. You might just be able to do 1. I remember when I came in CCDC, you know what I mean, in 2008, man, Sin was so out of shape that I could only do 2 real push-ups. And then 2 turned into 10, 10 turned into 20, 20 turned into 50. Next thing you know, I'm doing burnouts, 20 on down. Then I'm doing burnouts, 30 on down. Now I'm doing dips, pull-ups, you know what I mean? But it all started with 1 though, you know? And I was determined. And that's exactly how your ass gotta be. If you really want this shit, you gonna make the sacrifices to have it. It ain't a bitch that you can't have. It ain't a car that you can't drive. You know, P, my credit fucked up. I just gave you credit. Your confidence. Get your confidence, black man. Snatch that shit. You know, whatever demonic, satanic spirit that got your man, snatch that shit. You know what I mean? Snatch your confidence, black man. That belong to you. Snatch that shit. It's just certain things. You ain't even got to be no pimp. It's a certain way that you should be living right now just because you're a black man. Just because you are who you are. Make them sacrifice. You know, whatever your mama named you. I don't know your name in the streets. But you need to be saying that to yourself. Man, I'm going to have all of this shit. There's nothing that I can't have. If I don't have it, it's because I didn't want it. It's because I didn't make the sacrifices, you know what I mean, to have her or that or her or this materialistic thing. Anything that you want, you can have that. Anything. That body, that money, you know what I mean, that hoe, them hoes, nigga, you can have whatever the fuck you want to have. Is you gonna make the sacrifices to have that shit? And get around a crowd or get around a motherfucker that's gonna push you. Get them soft niggas out your motherfucking circle. You know, you want to be around a motherfucker that when you doing a push-up or a pull-up or when you reading or when you doing whatever, you want to be around individuals that, come on, man, give me some more. Give me another one. Come on. That's what you need around you. You don't need no soft-ass niggas. You don't need no unpimpish motherfuckers. You don't need people that's stupid, that's content with being stupid. You need individuals, man, that is bound, you know what I mean, by the spirit of greatness. That's it. That's it. You know, I gotta have it, I want it, and I'm gonna have it. Man, I hope you guys got blessed tonight. I hope that you got some inspiration tonight. I hope that you got some exhortation tonight. I hope that you was reminded of some information that you already had, but you know, you lose what you don't use. So hopefully you'll start reminiscing and retrospecting, you know what I mean, about certain times in your life, about things that you did in times past, and get that inspiration so you can do that shit again. Yeah, because whatever the fuck you did, you can do that shit again. The question is, do you want to? But yeah, man, make sure you hit that like button. I love you guys. You know, matter of fact, I'm not leaving until pretty much like noon really tomorrow. For those of you that's in Toronto, man, you're going to be seeing me every day. Sin going to be in Toronto. But for those of you that's not at my Patreon, right now, can I just have the mods, man, hurry up and just put the link to my Patreon in the comment section? And can we get the likes up to 700, man, before I leave? That'd be good. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, I want you to click on the subscribe button right now and click on the bell button right now. You know? But yeah, I'm gonna be back probably like most of y'all will be in the bed. But if you want to question me about anything that I said, within this message, you'll have that opportunity, man. I'm actually going to come back probably like a good 2 hours from now and fellowship and politic, with y'all. But yeah, man, that Patreon link that they put, I need everybody to come there, because if you want to see, the game, if you want to appreciate the game, if you want more game, come to my Patreon. I'm telling you now, come to my Patreon. Y'all know how I get down when seeing disappear from YouTube. I'm telling you that $5 is worth it. I'm telling you that $50 is worth it. If you want to get charged up, man, I got plenty of 15, 10-minute, 5-minute, hour, 2-hour, 3-hour videos on that Patreon. You definitely want to come over to the Patreon, But yeah, man, I'll be back, man, 120 minutes probably from now. And if you up, you still up. If you're not, this will be the last time for a little while. Sin got to get into a zone, man. It's time to pimp. Yeah, man, it's time to pimp, man. I love you guys. I hope you live as long as you want and never want as long as you live. Make sure that you hit the like button. And also, if this video did something for you after I end it, get in the comment section, man. Many of y'all be in my comment section when I be live, but when I end the video, man, you'll never come back, man, and pay respect to the game, man. So just, give honor to the game after I end the video, man. But I love you, man. I ain't gonna talk your heads off. Blessings to you. Hope you got what you were supposed to have. Enjoy your summer, man. Love you guys. 1.